Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about helping your veterinary practice attract, engage, and retain clients. Broadcasting a new podcast every Monday from sunny Southern California, here's your host, Brandon Bashirs.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode number 116 of the Veterinary Marketing Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a cool new feature and a new tool that is going to make your Facebook marketing so much more effective. I'm so excited about this. This is probably the coolest feature I have seen so far. I am so excited about it. I'm using it for tons of new applications, and it's just amazing. So I am very excited about today's episode. This is seriously one of the coolest things that I've seen so far, and I'm just blown away by how amazing it is and what the potential is. So be sure to listen all the way through. I know that it's going to be beneficial for you. The best thing of all, this tool is free for all the basic features. You can pay for some advanced features, but it's very, very affordable. I think $10 a month is to get all the other features, which is amazing for everything that it does. You're going to be blown away by it. Before we begin, I'd like to mention a few things. First, if you could do me a huge favor, be sure to subscribe on iTunes and Google Play. And the favor that you could do for me would be to leave an honest review. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, be sure to check out my newsletter. It's filled with tips and tricks that are going to help you to be a better marketer. If you'd like to text the word veterinary to 44222, you'll be signed up. That's 44222. Just text veterinary and you'll get added to that newsletter list. Also, be sure to connect on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, wherever it is you like to connect. Be sure to just reach out, send me a message. In fact, if you go to veterinarymarketingpodcast.com and hit that send message button, you're going to be able to see the features that I'm talking about today in depth. So I would really suggest that you go over to facebook.com, search for the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, and then hit that send message button. It'll prompt you to say get started, and then you'll be able to see all of the cool things that pop up there. I'd also like to mention this episode is being sponsored by snoutschool.com. Do you ever feel like you're wasting time with your veterinary hospital's social media efforts? Well, veterinary practice manager Danielle Lampert has put together a list of 5 awesome social media tools that every hospital needs to succeed. Danielle is dedicated to teaching veterinary hospitals to use social media via her website, snoutschool.com. So go to snoutschool.com/Brandon to get her list of 5 must-have social media tools now. You'll learn how to create professional-looking social media graphics, you'll save time by scheduling posts, and you'll find out where your clients spend time online. Not only that, she's got great tips for getting your whole veterinary team to understand the importance of social media. So head on over to snoutschool.com/BRANDON to get the 5 must-have social media tools for your practice today. That's snoutschool.com/Brandon, BRANDON. All right, let's get into today's episode. So this new feature that is available through Facebook, what is it? Well, it's called Chatbots. And this sounds kind of weird, but basically what it is Facebook has opened up their API to third-party companies out there so that they can develop new software. They're doing this for all kinds of things, which is very exciting. They're doing it for live streaming. They're doing it for all kinds of things. One of those things is messaging. So messaging within Facebook is becoming a lot like email. The only difference is people are paying way more attention to their Facebook app as opposed to their email inbox. The reason for that is there's not all of the marketers in their inbox and their messages. Typically, when you're sending messages on Facebook, it's only between people that you're very connected with and that you really care about. So since it's such a new medium, it's very, very effective. And what I'm finding is I'm able to build lists of subscribers to my chatbots for extremely cheap. I'm running it across every single Facebook page I have because it is so amazing. And the average cost per opt-in is less than usually 20 cents per opt-in. And what's so cool about this is not only can you just generate people to send messages to, but there's so much automation involved with it. You can tag and segment different lists of people. I mean, it's basically the same thing as email marketing, but directly through Facebook Messenger. And I think that's so cool because every single practice should be on Facebook. That's where your audience is. It's really easy to pinpoint target people, and it just is an amazing tool that is going to really let you connect with your clients and things. And then really cool feature about this is that you don't have to have any programming skills at all. If you wanted to create a chatbot, you would have to actually program things. But now that there's tools available, it's really, really simple. So the tool that I really suggest for this, and the tool that I've been testing extensively, is called manychat.com. So it's manychat.com. And it's free to sign up. It's very cool. So you just go to manychat.com. It'll ask you to log in with your Facebook, and then you'll authorize a page to use this on. So first off, when you get started, some things that you're going to want to do. Number one, 100% you should absolutely use this, because it doesn't cost you anything to start building this subscription list. And so people naturally send you messages, and if they send you a message, they then subscribe if they click that button and opt into subscription. So if you go to veterinarymarketingpodcast.com, you can see it in action there by hitting that send message button, and then you'll see what happens. So first thing that you need to do when you get started with this is that you need to click. It's very, very simple login. So you choose your pages. If you have multiple pages, it's a drop down. Then you have a dashboard, which will show you how many subscribers you have. Then you have an audience page where you can get information regarding your audience, each person who's subscribed, their gender, which language they speak, where they are, all kinds of things. Then there's a live chat button. If people send you a message, you can just message directly from there with people. There's a growth tools button, and I'll explain kind of what that is and how that works. And then also an engage button. And this is so cool. It is the broadcasts, the auto posting, and then sequences. And that's really, really cool features that I'll talk about in just a second. And then you have your automation. So you have your main menu, default reply, welcome message, and your keywords. So let's break this down really quick. There are a few ways for you to get people to subscribe. First off, that there is a section called Growth Tools. And what this lets you do is it lets you create a URL, chat boxes for your website, also buttons for your website, landing pages, URLs. When you create a message ad, you get to use that. That's the paid feature, though. You need to have that on a paid feature. So there's a new ad type that says send message. So you can have direct interaction with people through that. And then it's a custom chatbot that responds back. Then there's also the Facebook comment section. So if people comment on something, so for example, if you go to veterinarymarketingpodcast.com, you'll see there's a Bill Nye GIF that I posted. And I said, this blows my mind. Comment below to get sent this, and I'll send you the new episode as soon as it's available. Right? So people were commenting there. What it does is it lets you then respond back with a message automatically, and then it gives them the chance to opt in. So you need to create a little bit of language there to make sure that they understand that they need to reply back, to opt in. But once they reply, they are now subscribed to your chatbot. But those are the ways that you get people to subscribe. So kind of a good way to think about this is thinking about it in terms of almost like an email list. So for example, if you had on your website a little box that was an opt-in box for your newsletter, right? People would opt in there and then they would be receiving the newsletter. It's basically the same thing, except it's directly within Facebook. So you have those boxes available. You have links that people can click. It'll then take them to Messenger. It'll have, if they comment on something, it can take them to Messenger. Or you can do those ads specifically that are trying to solicit messages from people to build your audience. So that is very, very cool. Now, once people are subscribed, first thing that happens is they get sent a welcome message. So obviously you need to construct a welcome message that lets them know what to expect, who you are, and set the expectations, and then also tell them how they can unsubscribe. So with ManyChat, the way that you unsubscribe is you just hit stop and reply stop, and then it stops the messages. They're now unsubscribed from the list. So anytime you're sending a message or a broadcast, this is a very important feature that you need to include in all your messages. Just have that little note that says, if you ever want to stop receiving email or messages from us, just hit back stop. No worries, no hard feelings. Something like that. Make it very light so that they don't feel like they're being spammed. Since it is such, a very non-typical place to be sending people messages, my suspicion is that people will be very defensive of this personal space that they consider to be personal. So, you're not on Facebook so that you can get barraged with a ton of marketing messages, right? But at the same time, if people care about their pets and they really care about your brand, and they're concerned with the things that you're talking about, and you're producing good content, giving good relevant offers, then that's going to be a welcomed message. So you want to make sure that your branding and your messaging is really on point. And then you also always want to have it so that they can opt out at any time, so that they're not being overwhelmed, and make that opt out easy. That's why I really suggest including that stop message in every single broadcast and automatic email or message sequence that you send out there. So that's something that's very, very important. And you have to understand, people are not on Facebook to be receiving marketing messages, but it is a great place where you can really engage people, because you can target your audience so well. So that's just one thing. Now, that welcome message, it needs to be crafted so that they have a good expectation of what they're going to be expecting. And then the default reply, I would always make it very light and give options. So, typically when you have somebody messaging you, it's usually for, a pretty common set of reasons. So maybe people want to set an appointment. Maybe people want to know what your office hours are. People maybe want to know what your phone number is. People maybe want to know, all kinds of things. So what people call in your front desk for. What you're getting messages for most often. So on that default reply, I would really put a few buttons with those common FAQ. So I would just say, hey, thanks so much for sending a message. Is there something that we can help you with below? Choose one of the buttons, or reply back with what we can do for you. Something like that. And that's going to help to cut a lot of work out of having to constantly be messaging back and forth, and take care of some of those really common answered questions. And then it'll also let you reply really quickly. So if somebody needs to call and make an appointment, or if you have maybe you're using Demandforce in your practice and it lets you book appointments directly. It's so cool. When you set up any of the email, the message responses, you can add buttons that have very specific functionality. So you can redirect people to a link. You can have people actually call you. So you can set people calling you with the phone number. I mean, it just is amazing how many features this has. And there are so many applications that you're going to be able to use this in your veterinary practice. It's amazing. So it's just really, really cool. What also is cool to set up is a main menu button. So if you go to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, you can hit that send message, and then it says, hey, is there anything I can help you with? Click here to learn more. And then what I've done is created chatbots that will then send out messages that are logic-based. If they click this, then this message comes up. Or, if they click this and this message comes up, and then, make sure that it doesn't send out additional content that is, going over and over again. So it is very sophisticated, but it's very, very simple. So first thing, let's just kind of pull back here and get a strategy together for you when you're starting this. First thing that you need to do is you need to go to manychat.com, sign up with your Facebook page. Then once you get that done, hit that automation tab and make sure that you set up those 4 basic default automation things. So click that automation tab, make sure you have a main menu item. In that main menu, I would use that kind of like if you're trying to figure out what people typically want for you. So for example, get directions, give us a call, what's your phone number, what are my office hours, and then, anything else that you can think of that's kind of your default main menu, what you want people to think about, or what your main calls to action are specifically. And then with that default reply, if somebody sends you a message, I would do that kind of as an FAQ. And then for the welcome message, be sure to set expectations and really let them know how to unsubscribe if they want to, and then also what's going to be happening, what you're using this for, and things like that. If you want to get even more in-depth and let people give you even more permission, I would add buttons there saying, hey, I would love to get special offers here in Messenger. And if you're going to be marketing heavily to them, maybe allow them to opt into that so that you can have multiple lists of people. And then the last item that you would want to set up is the keywords. And that's if you want to. So this is an advanced feature, but basically it's logic-based rules. If somebody messages a certain word, it can hit respond with specific messages. So for example, if anybody says start or subscribe, that is the beginning to let people subscribe. If somebody says stop or unsubscribe, it unsubscribes them. So that is really, really cool. There's so many applications. You could do, if people are asking for, appointment, or if people respond with hours, or if people respond with location or directions, or these different words, they could get then a specific message that would automatically respond back to them. All kinds of cool things. Now, the other thing that you can use this for is if you're doing, for example, a video or a live stream or promotion or anything. If people then send you a message, your call to action could be send us a message with the word puppy if you want to get our new puppy package deal, or whatever, and then you could have it send a very specific message, allow people to opt in, and then segment them based on that opt-in. So what's so cool about this is that when you're using the growth tools and creating new ways for people to opt in, when people opt in to your messenger, you can also create tags that happen. Not only that, when people click certain buttons or perform any action within Messenger, you can tag them as well. So this really lets you tag people and create segmented lists to do broadcasts, to do automation, to do all kinds of really cool things. So with the growth tools that are available as a standard feature, I think that having the Messenger URL that you could use for any kind of post that you do in Facebook. So, for example, if you post just a picture of, let's say you're doing a contest, for example, that is Guess the Breed contest. If you had them instead of, I guess there's a few ways that you could do it. You could use a Messenger URL. Since if you're only using the free one, where you say, here, click the link here and guess the breed of the pet for a chance to win, right? Because those types of things get a lot of engagement. So if any kind of post that you can use this for that gets a lot of engagement, it's really, really helpful. So what I'm seeing this to be helpful with is it's turning a lot of the more of the awareness kind of content that I'm creating, which is considered the top of the funnel, right? So there's the 3 stages of generating a client. You have the awareness, evaluation, and then also, the purchase, the decision making. So with the content that gets a lot of engagement, it's typically not selling things, right? Which is the way that it should be. You're just trying to generate awareness. But you can take those awareness posts that get tons of engagement, and then you can use this to build a subscription list. So I think that's very, very powerful. So if you just have your call to action is send a message for a chance to win, or send a message, whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you have a new puppy guide. So thinking about getting a puppy, consider these 7 facts before, and then you could just deliver it through here. With any of the messages that you can send, you can do all kinds of content. You can do text, you can do video, audio, you can do PDFs, images, all kinds of really, really cool things that are set up to send out. So there's some advanced features here, the comments, and then also the Facebook ads. And those take a little bit more work. So I'm going to actually be doing a webinar here pretty soon. So if you actually go to my Facebook page and send me a message, I'll be definitely sending that out through Messenger, and then I'll be promoting it on Facebook as well. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention really quick. Now, once you have your growth tools set up, right, so you have your channels to start building subscribers, what you can do then is send out broadcasts. So if you have specials, or maybe you create a list of, I think a great application for this would be to create and market a Facebook Messenger ad specifically to a retargeting list of your current clients, and take that list and then offer them a client appreciation list, for example, and they get a special offer once a month or once a week or however often that you want to do it. But make your current clients feel special, and then also have a great way to drive actual business into your practice. So when you're creating broadcasts, you can tag people by the whole list. You can exclude certain tags. You can choose only certain tags, and it's basically just like sending out an email. It's very, very cool because it sends you analytics. It tells you how many have been sent, how many have been read, what your click-through rate is. I mean, it's amazing. And what I'm seeing with these messages that I'm sending out, and I'm doing this just to cold traffic, the open rate is above 90% on everything I'm sending out. It is insane. I have not sent out emails. The best that I can hope for with emails typically is 40%, just because of problems in sending and deliverability, and just, I would feel pretty happy if I can consistently do 40%. But with this, it's double that. And so I think that it's just an amazing tool, and that there's so many opportunities, especially to get on this as quickly as possible, because the cost to acquire subscribers is so low right now. It just is amazing. There's also auto posting as well as sequences. And these sequences are so cool. So they're rule-based sequences. So for example, let's say you have somebody subscribe to your messenger bot, right? And then you send a welcome message. It says, thanks so much for subscribing. Reply stop at any time to unsubscribe. What can we help you with today? Do you have problems with your cat? Problems with your dog? Or other, right? And this is just a very big example. I wouldn't suggest doing that because it's very uncompelling. But just as an example, if somebody clicks on the cat one, for example, it could then make them a cat tag person, right? So you're able to segment your list of people based on what kind of pets they have. And then you could launch a sequence of messages that goes out, and it could be totally related to cats. Or let's say, for example, you have a puppy guide that you're sending out as a lead magnet, for example. And let's say you have a message that says, this is the total puppy guide that the best puppy guide and the only one you'll ever need for your entire dog's life. Click below to send us a message. And then it sends a message, right? And it says, thanks so much for subscribing. What kind of a puppy do you have? And then it could be 0 to 6 months, 6 months to 2 years, or 2 years and up, right? Whatever segments that you want to create. And then based on what people click, they could then be added to a sequence that is relevant to their puppy. With sequences, you can do as many messages as you'd like. You can also delay the messages being sent, so you can start one immediately, right? So they click that sequence, and it could say, thanks so much for subscribing. Here is tip of the day number 1. And then, P.S., we're going to send you a message tomorrow, just to let you know, right? And it is so cool because it is just like an email sequence that sends out automatically, but it's through Messenger. So I'm so excited about this. The applications are amazing. I think I'm going to do another episode just with marketing ideas only based on this, because I see it as being a huge driver of business. And with the amount of innovation that Facebook is putting out in regards to their ad products and their new features, it's just amazing. And I think that the Messenger is just becoming more and more integrated and more important with the new release of they just did a My Day release, which they first released in Messenger, and now it's on the main app in the header. So if you've logged into your Facebook app anytime in the past 5 days, I think that they only released this in the US though, so you have to be a US-based user. But you'll now see that people will post out stories through their Messenger that then expire within 24 hours. So it's kind of like a Snapchat feature. It's pretty dang cool. But they're just integrating so much and innovating. It's really impressive. So I think that there are going to be even cooler ways to use this in the near future. I really think, too, that the My Day feature through Messenger will be available to business pages soon, and that's why I brought that up. So I know that was a lot. Hopefully it was helpful. If you have any questions, any comments, or you want to see how it works in action, be sure to head on over to Facebook and send me a message there, because that'd be a great spot to connect with on this and see how it works specifically. So I really appreciate you listening. Don't forget, be sure to subscribe in iTunes or Google Play. And by the way, if you just head on over to my Facebook page and send a message, hit that Get Started button, it'll actually give you links for either Google Play or for iTunes. So thanks for listening. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you on the next episode.